George Harrison was never the loudest voice in the room. He didn't need to be. While the world saw the serene Beatle with a gentle smile and spiritual calm, beneath that quiet exterior lived a storm that had been brewing for years. From the very beginning, he had stepped into a story already dominated by two towering figures, John Lennon and Paul McCartney. As a teenager in Liverpool, Harisson admired them. He learned from them. He followed their lead. But admiration, over time, slowly turned into something heavier. When he joined the Beatles, he was just 15, young, gifted, and eager. Yet the Lennon-McCartney partnership quickly became the creative engine of the band, an empire within a group. George was the quiet Beatle, the third songwriter, the guitarist who often played what he was told rather than what he imagined. At first, he absorbed it all. But as the band exploded into global fame, so did the imbalance. In the studio, his songs were frequently sidelined. His ideas were adjusted, corrected, reshaped. McCartney's perfectionism, though not cruel, often felt suffocating. Harisson would later confess that years of being second-guessed eroded his confidence as a guitarist. Not because Paul meant harm, but because control, repeated enough times, leaves scars. By the time the band began recording the White Album and later Let It Be, the tension was no longer subtle. Cameras captured what words had long hidden. During one rehearsal, as Paul directed his guitar part, George responded with a line that sounded calm but carried years of frustration. He would play whatever Paul wanted, or not play at all. It wasn't defiance. It was exhaustion. Days later, he walked out. For a moment, the quiet Beatle finally made noise by saying nothing at all. He returned under new terms, bringing with him songs like Something and Here Comes the Sun, masterpieces that proved he had grown far beyond the shadow cast over him. But something fundamental had shifted. When the band dissolved in 1970, it wasn't just business ending, it was trust unraveling. Harisson poured his sidelined material into All Things Must Pass, a triumphant solo statement that sounded like liberation. Beneath its beauty, though, were echoes of unresolved hurt. His relationship with Lennon was no less complicated. George had once idolized him, but as Lennon drifted into new personal worlds, Harisson felt left behind emotionally. The distance stung in a different way, less controlling, more dismissive. Years later, when Lennon was tragically murdered, Harrison's tribute carried both love and unspoken history. Some wounds soften with time. Others simply become quieter. In the 1990s, when the surviving Beatles reunited for the anthology project, old dynamics resurfaced almost instantly. Harisson joked it felt like going back to school. The world saw nostalgia. He felt memory. Yet when illness overtook him in his final years, something gentler emerged. McCartney visited. They sat together, holding hands, no ego, no competition, just two boys from Liverpool who had once changed the world. It wasn't dramatic reconciliation. It was human. On November 29, 2001, George Harisson passed away, leaving behind a legacy far greater than the quiet Beatle label ever suggested. His music carried longing, faith, and defiance wrapped in melody. He proved that silence can speak louder than rivalry, and that even in the most legendary bands, the deepest battles are often the ones never shouted. Do you think George and Paul truly made peace in the end? Or are some wounds simply meant to fade, not disappear?